Now, you say God is omnipotent.
Yes,
He
is all powerful.
No, He is all powerful.
Yes,
He can do what he pleases.
He is all powerful.
Can He do everything?
In accordance with
Can He do everything?
Except lie.
Huh?
He cannot lie.
He cannot?
He cannot lie.
Right. But now can He do anything? He can conquer people, nations.
He cannot
He can
lie.
overcome.
If he wants to.
Right. And if He fails because of your heavy armored cars and tanks, if He tells you that, look, I couldn't prevail against the Americans because of the super armaments. For example. You see?
What? Like
He was supposed to help us, God Almighty, for example. But now, God Himself, He failed to prevail against the Americans because they had laser guns and they had, super tanks. Now, in that case, we know He's not omnipotent.
Wow.
And if that is the situation, that we say God is on our side, and God is going to help us, and God tells us, I will help you, but in the end, God failed us. And the reason given in your book is that because the opposition had stronger armaments, then we'll say, look, this God is not omnipotent.
God is omnipotent.
That's right. So now, you have a little patience, I show you.
Please.
I show you. Mark chapter 10, verse 27, also Matthew chapter 19, verse 26. For God, now you don't have to check, because He says, with God all things are possible. You must have read that before.
Oh, yes.
With God
Surely.
all things are possible.
Yes.
You don't have to go and check up now. No.
Yeah.
If you want to, you may.
No,
It's
go ahead. Finish reading.
Right.
Please.
Right. So we accept that statement. We say with God all things are possible. Now, Judges chapter 1 verse 19, that you can open, which contradicts that. Book of Judges, chapter 1 verse 19. Book of Judges chapter 1 verse 19. You got it, but actually you got it pretty fast.
I'm there.
Yes, 7 days, you're pretty right. I would like to hear you read that.
Oh, it says, and the Lord was with Judah,
Uh-huh.
and He drave out the inhabitants of the mountain,
Uh-huh.
but could not drive out the inhabitants of the valley because they had chariots of iron.
Right. There it is. So God couldn't do it. He drove out the inhabitants of the mountains, but the inhabitants of the valley, God couldn't, because they had chariots of iron, they had armored cars, tanks. See, so God failed. How will you explain that? It's a parable. What blue parable is that? What is the parable about that? And God failed because they had chariots. This is telling you because they had chariots of iron, they had armored cars, tanks. They had tanks. You said He can do anything, but He can't. If you got armored cars and tanks on your side, the Somalis, they can't prevail against the Americans because the Americans have got helicopter gunships. And so you can say the Lord was with the Somalis, but then the God failed. But if your book says the God failed because of the American having